Good morning, everyone. Today we will present you about public speaking training. But before we start presentation, I will introduce the member of our team. First, Kristina Sianturi as the first presenter material. Second, Nazli as the second presenter material. Third is Rizky as moderator and the third presenter material. Fourth, Diva as a fourth presenter material, and fifth, Siti as a fifth presenter material. The first material will read by Kristina as a presenter material. For Kristina, time is yours.
Thank you for the time, Mr. Rizky. The first definition of training and public speaking in general. Training is an activity of training or developing a skill and knowledge to yourself or others, which is related to certain competencies that are considered useful. Training prepares training participants to take certain professional paths that are tailored to the technology and organization where work, and help participants improve their skill in their activities, especially regarding understanding and skills. The public speaking is basically defined as an ability possessed by someone to convey or present orally a problem or topic in front of the audience. Public speaking is one example of soft skill or abilities outside the academic. The ability to speak in public is very important to be honed from an early age, because public speaking will be very much needed in the world of work. The next definition of training and public speaking according to experts. The first, according to Sakula, 1981, in his book, Personal Administration and Human Resources Management, as quoted by Martoyo, 2007, defining training as a short-term education through a systematic and effective and organized process that are procedurally followed by several people to learn techniques, science, and skills that have been determined by their objective. Public speaking is a form of suitable communication through messages or through symbols by means of interaction with the speakers and audiences, according to David Jersky. So it can conclude the public speaking training is an activity of training, developing a skill and knowledge to convey or present verbally problem or topic to others. And the next, public speaking training purposes. There are two purposes to train the public speaking. The first purpose is to equip participants with self-control when dealing with the public, good public speaking techniques, and improve persuasive communication skills. The second purpose is to make someone feel brave to speak in public and can convey the material or information to be delivered well.
Okay, so the next material will read by Nazli as a second presenter material. For Nazli, time is yours.
The time method for doing public speaking. There are several methods commonly used in public speaking, namely, the first, impromptu method. Impromptu method is basically a method that is carried out with an incidental or made in place. Therefore, this improvement method is commonly used by people who are already professional when speaking in public. In fact, usually public speakers who use this method only do a little preparation and even do not use exercises when speaking in public. However, even though they do not use the training of these public speakers. They are still able to speak smoothly and straightforwardly in public. The second method, reading manuscript. This manuscript method is a technique used by reading the script while speaking or speaking in public. This manuscript, although it seems easy, this method also still requires own abilities because what often happens is because there is already a manuscript. The speaker actually focuses on manuscript that he brings. The method of reading this manuscript is usually used by individuals who a speech in particular event. In general, the manuscript from the official was prepared by the protocol. The third method of memorization. As the name implies, this method is done by memorizing the material or manuscript that has been prepared. This method is also not easy to do. There needs to be a good memory ability to do it, because we must really memorize and master all the material that we have read before. Methods like this are usually used by students when making a thesis presentation. The last, using note or extempore method. This method is arguably a combination of the various methods above. Because this method, there needs to be an improvement, read the script and memorize. This method is done by recording the framework of the material to be discussed in front of the audience. Not the material framework is used that the public speaker has a picture of the plot or outline of the material to be discussed. It also reduces errors when doing public speaking. The next is step now public speaking. There are several aspects that must be known about public speaking. First, intonation. The best sound when speaking is intonation in the middle tone, not too high and not too low. If the tone of the sound is too high, other people might think like a temperamental. Meanwhile, if the sound is too low, people will think that we are a person who lacks frame and full of consideration. We must use words that vary in intonation because the accuracy of its use is very necessary. The second is emphasis or accentuation. How do we talk and convey something to many people? Give emphasis on sentences that we consider important. Through this accentuation, the listener will get its own impression of the material presented. The third is articulation. There is a lot that happens to some people who have the habit of speaking fast in public. Namely, there are several letters missing in the sentence. If the left uncheck it, of course, it will be describing people who heard it. This emphasis can be studied by saying vocal letters many times, so as to convey ideas in a loud voice is also clear. Then others can understand what we will convey. The fourth is speed. We must be able to maintain speed in speaking. Keep in mind, talking too slowly can make people who listen to it feel bored and sleepy. Talking too fast makes people difficult to understand what we are conveying. Speak with a medium speed. At least, what we convey can be understood by others. The fifth is tempo or pace. Better known as tempo is one of things that must be considered in speech. Tempo will help in using accentuation and can also clarify the articulation of words or sentences that we convey. Practice adjusts the speech with the tempo of the sound by speaking while flickering fingers. The sixth is pause. In public speaking, that must be considered is giving a pause. Giving pause is meant to give time to others to understand and digest what is conveyed. This can also make other people curious about what will be conveyed next. In addition, can also take advantage of pause as a means to let breathing and building. The layer that can use as breathing you can use as breathing is called the diaphragm breathing. This can be used for various things such as singing and public speaking. The location of the diaphragm muscle is under the lungs and above the stomach. More precisely under the ribs right in the front when we are laughing or coughing. At the time, the diaphragm muscles that pass breathing from the lungs. Then how is this diaphragm breathing? The trick is to try the abdomen that contract and relax when breathing. Try to keep the shoulders stable and not moving. Mic. This is very important when giving speeches, lectures, and so forth because the sounds without mic with sounds using a mic is very different. You should check the sound before speaking in public. In addition, determine the right distance between the mouth and the mic. Pitch. Related to high and low notes that we often use when delivering messages or ideas. We must be able to distinguish pitch when delivering happy messages or sad new messages. Mistakes in choosing the speech can be fatal. The last is pooping. When we speak, there will definitely be air coming out of the mouth. That kind of thing is what we often call pooping. This is definitely very annoying, especially if you use a microphone because the sound will blur and unclear. We really cannot eliminate the pooping, but at least we can minimize the occurrence of pooping by continuing to practice.
Okay, thank you, Nazli.
Speaking in front of the paper, when paper does not vibrate, it means we can reduce the release of air from the mouth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nazli. Now we move to the next material that will read by me as a third presenter material. The importance of body language in public speaking. First, facial expression. This most commonly used with developed conversation. Usually, facial expressions are used to react to message or convey something emotionally. Second, body move. There are several body movements that are often used by some. Amazingly, not many people can translate various body movements, such as watching hair, meaning we are very nervous. In addition, the movement can also be used to attract the attention of the opposite sex with an elegant and feminist style. Second, biting the lips can be interpreted as an expression of nervousness in yourself. It also means trying to calm down. Third, scratching the nose. This movement can be dangerous, especially expressing certain text, or messages. The movement of stretching the nose can be translated with the meaning that he or she is lying. Fourth, closing or rubbing the eyes. It can mean that it is not interested in the word delivered by the people around, but else the message is included in the realm of privacy. The next material is read by Diva as a fourth presenter. Diva, time is yours.
There are several body movements that we should not do when speaking in public, such as the first, associated, meaning the appearing both hands on the stomach can give the impression of relaxing and arrogant. The second, both hands on the side strike down, give the impression alert, although this attitude pleasing to the eyes, but we must avoid it because we give the impression as people who are ready to accept others. The third, stretching his head, the most fatal for someone who is giving a speech. People will think that he lacks confidence. The fourth, smiling while raising one eyebrow, can show the impression of naughty or evil in yourself. This is an attitude that must be avoided. Fifth, lifting a brow can be translated into several meanings. One of them is an attitude of being surprised. This attitude must be avoided because it can show our unpreparedness in explaining material or facing an audience. The sixth, squeezing the hands. This movement can be negative, indicating that we can announce stress, tense, awkward, and so forth. Touch. Giving touch is a form of personal communication that is spontaneous. Through touch, a person can show serious attention, emotional support, affections, sympathy, and so on. Both posture. Sturdy posture can show our readiness, show that we are really ready and it good health to convey ideas.
Okay, now we move to next or the last material that we read by Siti as a fifth presenter material. For Siti, time is yours.
Preparation before public speaking. Here are something that must be prepared before speaking in public. 1. Topic research. To focus, preparing ideas logical or adequate quotation facts and statistics. 5. Master the metaphorical language. 6. Storytelling. 7. Start firmly and more stronger. 8. Humor. 9. Vocal tone and varying volume. And simply the word with gesture. 11. Understanding of totality. 12. Analyze the audience. 13. Interaction. 14. Make a question and answer session. 15. Leading the discussion. 16. Obey the time provided. 17. Prepare an introduction. 18. Confidence. 19. Overcoming the issue that comes so calmly. 20. It makes sense and understandable. 21. Search and use feedback. 22. Critical and analysis well. 23. Action and talk with technique. Why people fall in a public speaking? Want to always be perfect in every way. It means those who perfectionist nature always set the goals that are too high. Firmness, being firm will help us take control and get better appreciation and attention. Negative thing about herself, things negative too that are often experienced in ourselves with positive thing. It will have us more confident. For self-imaging, consider ourselves good, ever great, and other things that can make us be confident with a good image. Lack of knowledge, if we have and understand something that is done every day. Comparing yourself with others, comparing with others is a bad habit that is done by many people. Excess fear will remain confident with the fear that exists. Lack of motivation. By forcing ourselves to take real action with a firm attitude.
Okay, thanks to all my friends that delivered the material about public speaking training. So that's all about our presentation today. We hope that by doing our presentation about public speaking training, you can better understand how to train your public speaking to be even better in the future. That's all from us. If there are any mistake, we apologize. Thank you.